43 Victor Oscar Golf 003 Australia. 9 Alpha Tango 791 Gulf Islands, North Pacific. Yeah, you as well, my friend. I got you 3 and 7, 3 and 7, and sounding good. I heard you out there. I just wanted to wave at you. You're always sounding good, my friend. Hope all is well in Australia. Yeah, Scott, you got Joe here, Juliet, Oscar Echo, QSL. Yeah, no, yeah, some good conditions right now for South Pacific. Kind of nil for Europe on this side. I haven't heard Europe for a while. I just worked 338 Delta Alpha 049. Fred down there in Huka Island in the Marquesas there. So good long skip for us, that's for sure. Perfect, man. You got to love it. You always got to like making new contacts out there. It's always kind of exciting there, QSL. Yeah, there's a couple of guys I speak to out there in the Canary Islands, but I haven't talked to them for probably 2 weeks or so now. But good on you, man. That is I tell you what, it's a hell of a lot longer haul for you to get to the Canary Islands than me. That's a long way from Australia. That's crazy. Isn't that crazy? I had a guy coming in. I was talking to a station in Australia, and I finished with him. This is earlier. This is probably about an hour ago. And then I had a guy come back to me. He was on the back of my beam. The back of my beam, he was in New Brunswick in Atlantic Canada, coming in 20 over, and he was just running a ground plane. Hang on, QSK. That's pretty amazing when conditions are right, man, where you can talk. Anyway, one sec there, 43 Victor Oscar Golf 003 Australia. There's a QSK in there. I better let him go. Go ahead there, QSK.
910 Queensland.
Hello there, 910.
Very good evening, very good evening. You're making a lot of noises this evening. You're making a lot of noise. Your radio 5 and 8, Roger.
I'm glad you can hear me down under. Yeah, I'm just talking to Scott there, 003 in Australia, but you probably can't hear him, I'm guessing. All right, that was good to hear you. You pop in anytime, my friend. Hope all is well.
And from there, I'll let you get back to Scott. All the best. Ciao, ciao.
Yeah, ciao, ciao. Have a good one up there and enjoy that beautiful heat. All right there, 43 Victor Oscar Golf. Hey, what was your QTH in Australia?
We're near Sydney, Jay. We're about 200 kilometres south of Sydney, so we're sort of down what they call the south coast, but we're only about 400 metres from the water, mate, so we're pretty close to the coastline where we are. South of Sydney, I suppose, you call it.
That's right. I remember you telling me that because we're also close to the coast. We're about 300 or 400 meters, probably less than 400 meters from the Pacific Ocean here. We just walk out our front door and walk through a little nature trail to the beach there, QSL.
Yeah, I just been the beach then. We took the docks for a swim and just tried to catch a few worms to go fishing later in the day. But it wasn't going to go today, so still nice being down the beach. I just got the antenna a little bit more to the north to see if it helps with the signal, but it doesn't seem to have made much difference to your signal there, Joe.
Yeah, no, it does help being by the water, that's for sure. I got a straight shot at you right across the Pacific, from the North Pacific to South Pacific. I got my antenna pointed directly southwest, QSL.
Yeah, it's reasonable, but when we got to go for short pass from you, it's out the range to get over there, and on the long pass, it's got shapes on over the water, so I suppose that's why it works for you on the long pass, but like you say, you don't know what you're going to get sometimes, but I had the feel of the one on, and I could hear all these stations coming through, and I thought that must be long pass, and there was probably Durham and around and it was all cooking, but no, it's those times, mate.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I know your DX is probably just starting, because I guess, well, you're 18 hours ahead of us. You are Monday morning there, so our DX is going to start to fade out soon here. We are just after 6 p.m. Sunday afternoon or Sunday evening here, QSL.
Yeah, I'm going to quick look at the clock, but it's probably nearly lunchtime here in Australia. Nearly lunchtime here. But about 8 this morning there was a couple of lost nights and 4 division and also there was a 31 division coming through on the long pass here. So we get a little bit of strange long pass early in the morning. We just got to crack it at the right time.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all about timing, and it's just, you never know what you're going to hear out there some days. You know, there was one day, it was just over a week ago, we haven't getting any Europe in there, and then I had Portugal coming back to me off the back of my beam, which was absolutely crazy, but that was the only European station I actually got to in probably a week and a half or so. So it's been really quiet for Europe, but I was really good for South Pacific, which I'm grateful for.
Yeah, like you say, it was unusual too, because I was another day on a stream long pass, and I was getting the Canary Islands, which is like 250 degrees for me, and the long pass for them is about, I don't know, about 90 degrees or about 100 degrees, so they were coming off the side as well, so when the conditions are right, the antenna doesn't act like a directional antenna, you're going to lose straight signals coming off the side.
Exactly. Yeah. Nope. You got to appreciate these beam antennas, and that's why I run this flat side Yagi there. I like to shoot skip. I've always loved to work the DX. So if I ever talk local, which is not that often, I do have 3 other antennas up. I have 3 Omnis. I have a IMAX 2000, an Antron 99, and a 5/8 wave Sigma Venom at various locations on the property. So those are for more like local stuff. And this is for my DX.
Yeah, you'd be surprised how well some of these bloody fishing and old aircon and that went on there and it was work. We got in here and I'm feeling all like that. It's called a station last night, just like a halfway vertical with a big induction coil at the bottom of it for the jam of it. Yeah, very similar sort of thing. Yeah, they work quite well as well, you know, so you'd be surprised how well some of these vertical antennas work when the conditions are on.
Oh, absolutely. No, I agree, Scott. I've worked Europe many times. I've worked all over the world on an Antron 99, and not a problem if conditions are right. Matter of fact, I talked to a guy today in Mexico City, and he was running an Antron 99, and he was absolutely just blasting in here.
Yeah, I just bought a 3-element striker, like to do a bit of mobile work and stuff too, so I'll be surprised to see how that goes. We've got a big mountain up the back where we live, so I'm thinking about taking a couple of batteries up there or taking a G up there, and I've got a roller off down on the back of his mobile, so I'm going to shoot that striker antenna on it and give that a blast. So that's where we're located. It's probably another 600 to 700 feet above sea level, so we're going to be actually feeding right out over the ocean where it is, so I'll be surprised to see how that one works to that location.
Oh, that'll be awesome. Hey, when you get that set up, make sure to give me a call. I'd love to see how that works and see how you sound on that. That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a weird antenna. It's got it's like a pretty much a portable antenna. It all breaks down into like 1.2 meters of fishing poles, and then you just put it in the main part of the poles and then wrap all the all up with a carabiner and joined it all together, a bit like what you call a spider beam over there. And then just got a bit of coax on it and it's ready to go. So it's like a bit of a folded reflector and a folded director, but with a straight driven element. So I don't know if you've seen any pictures of them. There's a bloke who makes them out of Italy.
That is cool. Spider beam, huh? Wow. So it's both polarities then? Is it or is it just horizontal?
It's just horizontal, yeah. So I think it's called, they call it a striker, and then there's another name for it. It's called now the bloke who invented it, his surname was Bird, and if you look up bird yardie, it'll come up under the name of a bird yardie.
Okay, I'll look that up for sure when we're done here. I'll Google it. That's actually very interesting.
Yeah, well, a lot of people run them and a lot of people on the expeditions use them, and like I say, you can make them even smaller. So, yeah, they pack down into about a metre, 1.2 or something like that. And then, yeah, just stand up and it's really lightweight. They're lucky to weigh a couple of kilos, so it's not real heavy. It's all made of fiberglass and a little bit of aluminium on the main mast in the centre. But yeah, it's just like two V-shaped directors and reflectors with a straight driven element.
That's interesting. So it probably wouldn't take very long to set that up then, QSL, like pretty quick to erect?
About 5 minutes, mate. 5 minutes top.
No way, you're kidding.
Yeah, so there's a video on there that shows the actual bloke putting it together. And he just goes, you just flick the rods out, you just lock the rods in position there, it's 2.8 metres long, push it into the four-way spider in the centre, run the cable around the outside of it, plug it into the end of the spider, pull it all up into the configuration, and then just plug your cable in and put it on a pole, and that's it, simple as that.
That is insane. So it's portable. You take that anywhere you want, man. That is really cool. Now I got to look that one up.
It's quite easy to build, mate. I just bought one because I was just curious about it, and then I looked at it and went, you know what, I could probably build a better one than that. Probably not as portable, a little bit longer, but I could make it out of electrical conduit instead of using fiberglass to make it more of a permanent installation, and sort of if you wanted to have one of those for like a quick antenna to put up for you if you're on your other one, use a underground electrical conduit instead of making it out of a fiberglass pole.
Yeah, it'd probably be a lot cheaper if you made it yourself. So I'm curious, how much would that cost, like in Australian dollars? Because our Canadian dollar's not worth very much right now. It's maybe comparable to your dollar. I don't know, but what would that cost to buy? Are we talking a few $100s?
I think it's something like $200 euro or something like that. So that's probably about 400 Australian dollars or something.
Okay, so it'd probably be similar to Canada. Our dollar's like 30. We ever base everything on the American dollar, so the American dollar is probably worth about 30 cents more than a Canadian dollar.
Yeah, if you look it up, I think it's 209 euro or something like that. There's a couple of different ones you can get. You can get a full fiberglass one that breaks right down to 65 centimetres. So that is a really, really good travelling one. And then the next ones are made of fiberglass, but it only goes to 1.2. And then I got the one with the alloy pile because I was thinking of using it as a bit of a permanent job. But you can still use it as a mobile. So there's a couple of different versions. But yeah, there is a really small version. You can basically put in your suitcase for the expedition. It goes down to 65 centimetres.
Man, yeah, you could take that traveling with you. Hell, you could go on some road trip, pack that along. I guess as long as you have a piece of masting, swag masting, you need a little bit of a mast to put it up to erect it, QSL.
Yeah, I bought a mast yesterday. It's a collapsible mast that goes to 4.5 metres. And it's got 4.5 metres collapsible, and it goes down to 1.6. So it's easy just to throw in the car. And I've made a mount that goes into the back of my table. You just plug the drawbar into the tongue into the tow pole, and then I made a clamp to clamp the mast straight onto the back of it. So just put it on and drop the mast straight on and bolt it up.
Wow, that sounds pretty skookum. So you don't need a rotor then, right? Rotor is probably, you don't really need that.
Well, You just walk outside the car and turn it, I suppose. It's not that much of a drama to have a rotor. Like in a permanent setup, you probably would, but it's more of a sort of mobile, and it probably work good from there's a lot of pictures on the side of it running from home bases and stuff, so I'll be just worried about the fiberglass and stuff like that out in the river for a while, but yeah, you can put a rotator on it, no worries.
Yeah, for home base, that's right. Yeah, but like you say, if you're taking it mobile with you, there's no need to ever put a rotor on. Like you say, just put your arm out and turn it around. So I wonder what how many watts that can handle. Probably 1,000 watts or so, huh?
Yeah, if you got it all, come and look on the website. It's called Private Skyper. It's spelled SKYPPER. Yeah, Private Skyper.
Okay, call Skyscraper?
It's the Pro Romeo Oscar is one word Pro and the other one's Skyper. SKYPPER.
Okay, I'll look that up. That's very interesting. I wonder who makes that. Is it made by like Mako or something?
No, it's made by this bloke out of Italy. He's a 1 Alpha Tango member. I think his name's Ivan.
Okay, cool. Wow, that's very interesting. I'm running an Italian beam right now. My Serio's Italian, and yeah, I am an Alpha Tango member. I don't know if I've talked to him before, but that's really cool. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, it's alright. I know every time you buy one and you spend the money and it's like, okay, well, I could probably build one better than that when I look at it. It's like, yeah, you just need a few parts, and I've just already thought, okay, well, I can make the, instead of using fishing poles, I could use conduits that's a little bit more sturdier. Probably not as light and stuff, but it's not going to add too much more weight to it. It just makes it a bit sturdier than the fiberglass, you know?
Oh yeah, no, conduit I think would work just dandy. I talked to a guy, it was in the Philippines or one Southeast Asian island, and he had a homemade beam, and he had bamboo. He actually used bamboo and wire.
Yeah, well, we used to build quad antennas out of that when we were young, out of bamboo, and making a frame in the centre and just using plumbers clamps and stringing the bamboo post. But yeah, bamboo would work fine. It just has to have a bit of flexibility to it. When you see the picture of it, you'll understand it all. It's hard to explain, but yeah, it's a mad-looking thing.
That's really cool. No, I'm definitely going to check that out. Okay, well, thanks for the tip. That's very, very interesting, but definitely a great antenna to have if you like to do road trips.
Oh, for sure, mate. Yeah, and then you can just, like I said, you put it up really quick and you can take it down really quick. And yeah, so that's the benefit of it. And I've spoken to heaps of people on their expeditions that take them away on their expeditions with them. And like I said, they've got a travelling one that can go right down into small sizes. So it fits in bugger all space, but you're getting a lot of bang for your buck, put it that way.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. And you said it only takes a few minutes to put up. It's funny because Wendy and I, my wife and I, are heading back up to Alaska in May. We're heading up on a cruise. I could just see me with that bloody antenna setting it up on the cruise ship.
Yeah, that'd be the go for sure, mate. Yeah, I've always thought that I could probably do it with a single element deltoid that I got as well. So that's the next thing I'm planning on making. Make a mobile single element one. Stuff similar to that. You could still use conduit and stuff like that, and try and put it together, or just use it out of wire and just break the sections down, and it's just a matter of putting it together and putting it on the pole. So yeah, there's plenty of good options out there.
Absolutely, and the materials are usually always available. Pretty simple if you got the schematics, and it sounds like you've made a few antennas, so it wouldn't be a problem for you.
No, it's the price of carbon fibre wasn't so expensive. You could make them out of carbon fibre. That'd be the ideal type of material, I know that.
Yeah, and carbon fiber's nice and strong, but it's more costly.
Big time. That's the only trade-off. Actually, my mate just gave me a giant big carbon fibre mast off his windsurfer. It's about 4 metres tall, so he might be able to use this for something. So I'm looking at trying to make something out of that as well. So yeah, that's strong as compared to fiberglass.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, that would be even perfect if you could make it out of carbon fiber. But that's pretty cool that he gave you the mast off the windsurfer. That can be used for something. Being a radio operator, I'm always looking at stuff like that too. I remember years ago when I worked for the Parks Department, I'm retired now, they took down a bunch of chain link fencing, and between the tops of the fence poles, 21-foot sections of masting. They were going to get rid of it, scrap it, so I took a few 21-foot pieces of masting. That's what my beam is on.
Yeah, well, that's the go, yeah. People just throw shit like that away, but yeah, no, for sure, because it's worked great. But, yeah, the beauty about it, it's a three-element antenna, so you get the benefit of the three-element. I don't know, there's pictures of the radiation pattern. There's a couple of SNET graphs on there about how it radiates and stuff. It's probably, and I think it's pretty much 50 A's in the center, not like the Yaki where you've got to use the gamma match and tune it, so that's another good thing about it as well.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I'm running the gamma match on mine, and up here I'm actually running an antenna tuner. I'm running an MFJ IntelliTuner automatic tuner on this one. I mean, I have it matched really good for certain channels, but when I start to come up this high, the match goes out a bit, so I am running an automatic antenna tuner to keep the match way down.
Yeah, I've got one of them little MFJs that I've got a little mobile icon radio, and that's a great little tuner, the little black box with a couple of buttons on it, mate.
Yeah, that's it. This is called the model MFJ 994B. And God, I bought it at least a decade ago, but I'm glad I did. It kind of sat there for a while. And once I got my Yagi, I started using it. It works pretty skookum.
Yeah, I've got a little one that hasn't got any gauges or hasn't got any dials or hasn't got any, like that, or I wanted to say, signals or anything on the front. It's just got a couple of buttons and it just auto-tunes, and once it recognises certain frequencies, it keeps them in the memory and stuff. So it's a good little piece of kit. It's only really small. It's probably, no, I don't know, it's not a really good size tuner, but it's just a little small box, but it's called an IntelliTuner, I think it is.
As long as it works, that's the main thing. This one here has a meter on it with a light in it, and I got it hooked up to a pyramid power supply. It's got forward on it reflected, and my wattage, and then of course the SWR. And yeah, no, it's been working pretty good so far, so good. Anyway, looks like conditions are starting to change there, Scott. So before I drop out of there on you, I better pass you the numbers there, buddy. Always a pleasure to talk to you. And I hope you have a good day DXing out there. And if you get that antenna up sooner than later on your portable, that beam there, I'll be listening for you. 43 Victor Oscar Golf 003 down there near Sidney, Australia. Have a good one, Scott. Cheers and beers from 9 Alpha Tango 791 on the Gulf Islands. Thanks, Scott. Cheers, buddy.